Okay, how you doing? We're back. Dealing with the Black and African Americans and how the obsolete and we are the original American Indian Moors. And like I said, there's a brother I reached out to who got a YouTube clip about the Indians that he's showing or saying rather that American Indian are not Moors. But I reached out to him to try to communicate with him to let him know that American Indian are Moors and the Moors are American Indians in America within the law. So that's what I wanted to get with him and show him. So I'm going to put some of this info out. And one thing I want to show you, what we talked about, recap from the first video about the flag with the 6 point stars and the 40 star flag with the 5 point stars. Then we talked about the word more in the preamble of the Constitution. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect. The word more, M-O-R-E, is the old French and Italian spelling for M-O-O-R. So in the preamble of the Constitution, it says, we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect, it's not to add to something that's perfect. If it's perfect, you can't add to it. If it's perfect, you can't take away because it's perfect. So it doesn't mean that. In the Constitution, more perfect refers to these people. And I want to go over some things today in a continuation dealing with who these people are more specifically. Put my glasses on. As an old geezer, being 62. All right. All right. Last week we went over where we showed that uh, the flag and the Constitution about the word more and the word more through scholarship. All right. Well, I'm going to show you today definition of white person. And it says white person. These are all the statutes, Naturalization Act, March 1790, but we're going to go start here. White persons to members of the white or Caucasian race as distinct from the black, red, yellow, and brown races. Then it gives you more case law. Then it goes down. In the legislation of the slave period, persons without admixture of colored blood, whatever the actual complexion may be. So this is saying that these white persons, this is a law dictionary, by the way, this is a fourth edition Black's Law Dictionary. Fourth edition Black's Law Dictionary. So it says members of the white or Caucasian race, distinct from the black, red, yellow, and brown races. And remember last week we went over Congress had, at the end of the video, part one, But Congress was debating to do away with African descent slavery, but they kept Anglo-Saxon white slavery, kept it. So definition here in this one video, members of the white or Caucasian race, distinct from the black, red, yellow, and brown races. It says, in the legislation of the slave period, person without admixture of colored blood, whatever the actual complexion might be. So these white persons who are separate from the black, red, yellow, and brown race, in the legislation of the slave period. Well, what is legislation? The writing of laws. What was the slave period? The writing of laws for slavery. So in the legislation of the slave period, there's a comma. In the legislation of the slave period, the writing of laws for slavery, persons without admixture of colored blood, whatever the actual complexion might be. So in the legislation, during the writing of laws for slaves of the slave period, these are persons without admixture of colored blood, whatever the actual complexion might be, because they are members of the white or Caucasian race, and they're distinct from the black, red, yellow, and brown race. And these are white persons. All right. Now you see why Congress did away with it, did away with it in the first video. All right. Furthermore, what is happening is, in this book, the complete book of immigrants in bondage, 1614 to 1775. Remember these dates. By Peter Wilson Coldham. This book used to be this wide. And that book, that tall. If any of you have ever been to the clerk of court where you had to go to small claims and you go check the record books, and those books are real big. Well, that's how big this book used to be. And then they condensed it into this, but it's real thick. It's about that thick. It's that thick. It's a real thick book. All right. So this book, all right, in this book, this is the inside of the book. And these are all the names of all Caucasian people that came from Europe on the ships to the Americas. Their names, their crime, the date, how long, etc. These now how you decode it. This T stands for transported, April 1st, 1733. Patapsco, LCMD, November 1733, K. That means that this person, Richard Mercer, was going to the New World, LC New World, for crime of murder, November 1733, and he's confined for I think it was 20 years. So all these codes, and in the beginning of the book, I should have made a copy of the legend to explain these. But you get the book, you see it yourself, you read it, you'll understand. This person here, George Merchant, robbery, and he was going to Barbados in July 1674 for murder, and married. So that's what this book is about. So all these people, and everybody in this book, all Caucasian, all white or Caucasian. Nobody has any other race. All right. So that's that. Now, remember from the first video, we went over the flag with the 6 point star and the 5 point star. Now, the 6 point star is called Estoli. Estoli. Estiole. Estoli. And the 5 point star on the 48 star flag is called a mullet. And the star that's on the 50 star flag that's displayed today in the United States of America courts, that star is called a spur. So we have a Stoli, the 48 6 point star, the mullet, the 48 5 point star, and the spur. 50 star flag on the flag of the 50 states for the United States of America flag. So that's the explanation of it. Now what I want to show you from that is a video showing these couple of videos actually showing you the stars that's out in the educational system. You don't know, you've never seen, but it's out there so you know that I'm not just making it up. All right. Now this is a documentary um, by George Kennedy's narrating, and it starts this section. We're going to start with the Revolutionary War and shot heard around the world from 1775 to 1783. I want you to listen, pay attention closely.
The American colonists, having rid themselves of the French and Native Americans, now found a new threat: their own mother country, Britain. The Boston Massacre, followed by the Boston Tea Party, were the beginnings of a rebellion. Britain, with more than 3,000 troops in Massachusetts colony, moved rapidly to put the rebellion down. Its strategy was to capture the leaders and munitions in the rebel center of Concord, Massachusetts. This action led directly to the first battle of the Revolutionary War, one in which the colonists quickly learned that their militia units could not stand up to the European style of fighting. Rather than fighting rows of soldiers against rows of soldiers, the colonists adopted the Native American strategy of fighting from concealment. Let's look at how the shot heard round the world started the American Revolution.
On Concord's North Bridge, April 19th, 1775, a shot was fired, often referred to as the shot heard around the world. It changed the
Now, if you look at it, you see the flag or the star, the 6 point star, and it's behind the clouds. So if you didn't know the information I'm giving you, you just think, look at it and say, oh, that's the regular stars. But it's a 6 point star. All right? Hold that right there. Now, this what I'm getting ready to show you is another documentary, real clip, little small clip like that. Well, the one we just watched was the complete history of the United States wars, narrated by George Kennedy, where the shot heard around the world. This is another clip called from a documentary called 500 Nations, Section 4 or Number 4, narrated by Kevin Costner. Now, when Kevin Costner did this video, 500, this documentary, 500 Nations, he had did the movie Dancing with Wolves and found out that some of his people were Indian. So he committed himself to studying and all these other things, and he did this documentary, but he put a lot of information that shouldn't have been put in there. And then he was banned from Hollywood for 20 years. Then when he got released, unpunished, he came back with the that Western movie out west. I forgot the name of it right now. But this document, I want to show you this clip.
Their bodies discarded in large pits near the church. In 1821, control of California transferred to Mexico after it gained its independence from Spain. The Mexican government secularized the missions. Indian people were free to leave. But 50 years had completely transformed their world. Old villages were gone. In their places were large Mexican estates. Even the mission lands they had worked and lived on became parts of vast private ranches.
To stand by and watch these men take over the missions which we have built, the herds we have tended, to be exposed incessantly together with our families to the worst possible treatment and even death itself is a tragedy. Mission San Luis Rey, neophyte.
Homeless and left with few choices for survival, mission Indians were forced to exchange one master for another, becoming peasant workers on the rancherias.
Many of the rich men of the country had from 20 to 60 Indian servants whom they dressed and fed. Our friendly Indians tilled our soil, pastured our cattle, cut our lumber, built our houses, made tiles for our homes, ground our grain, slaughtered our cattle, dressed their hides for market. While the Indian women made excellent service, took good care of our children, made every one of our meals. Salvador Vallejo, Mexican landowner.
In 1848, after the Mexican-American War, California passed from Mexican to American.
All right.
Oh, no, I looked it up already, that's why I came here. Because I don't usually, I don't like to keep things just like that. I guess I'm, if I use them, I don't want to keep it, I'm trying to be part of what that's
Here again is another copy or another verification of the 6-point star flag. Now, this flag only has, I think, 32 because all the states had not joined our government yet, or we had not finished completing the prophecy that's listed in America, the Gnostic text, Nag Hammadi Library. That there will be, we're going to cover that, but we're going to cover that during these videos. But it was a prophecy that in the future there would be a city set up by the Egyptians, and they will be known to be Egyptians by their tongue, but in their mind they will seem to be men of another race. So I just want you to see this 6-point star flag along with the other one. All right. Now I'm gonna show you from This is the original flag of the 48 United States. This is the flag of the Moorish government, which is the flag of the United States, not the flag of the United States of America. I showed you the two Congresses, I showed you the two governments, etc. So this is our flag, the American Indian flag. Flag that was shown in the video we just saw, 500 nations. Flag shown in the video we just saw, complete history of the United States wars, complete history of the United States wars with George Kennedy narrated, the 500 nations documentary where we just showed you. So this is our flag. In relation to this flag, right? This flag has 48 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This going down and 8 across 48. 8 across 48. The reason why it's a little lighter blue and darker blue is because of the print from the computer when I printed it out. But it's no different. Doesn't mean anything. So this is our flag. The United States in Congress assemble. And this is the United States of America in Congress assemble flag. United States in Congress assemble flag. United States of America in Congress flag. The Moors of the United States, the American Indian Moors flag. The others flag. Okay? All right. All right. So, you see that flag, and you saw the video. Let me show you the video again. That star flag, and remember this one. That one. That flag. All right? So you got two. This flag, and then the video, complete history of wars in the United States, and then the 500 nations. All right. Let's see. Now I want to show you this Treaty of Peace and Friendship. The Moors always, a lot of them say, Treaty of Peace and Friendship is this and that, which it is. Now, what I want to show you in it is all right. As you can see, now I want you to pay attention. We'll read. Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787, between Morocco and the United States. To all persons whom these presents shall come, make sure y'all are seeing it. Okay. To all persons whom these presents shall come, or be made known whereas the United States of America, in Congress assembled by their commission, bearing date the 12th day of May, 1784, thought proper to constitute John Adams, Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, their ministers plenipotentiary, giving to them, or a majority of them, full powers to confer, treat, and negotiate with the ambassador, minister, or commissioner of His Majesty the Emperor of Morocco concerning a treaty of amity, which means friendship, and commerce, economics, business, to make and receive propositions for such treaty, and to conclude and sign the same, transmitting to the United States in Congress assembled for their final ratification. So what you have, the United States of America at the top, the United States of America in Congress assembled, the United States in Congress assembled, who for their final, they're going to give this treaty. When they sign it, it says conclude and sign the same, transmitting to the United States in Congress assembled for their final ratification. So once this treaty was signed and done, they gave it to us to ratify it. Now I want to show you something else in another video. Now what I'm going to show you, I want you to pay attention and listen. This was during the time when we were in charge, and they were coming to Pennsylvania, to Philadelphia, and I want you to hear how he says it. Because remember, United States of America got into a treaty with Morocco, and when they both signed it, they gave it to us to ratify it. So I want you to listen to this whole thing.
In 1754, Benjamin Franklin attended a conference with the Haudenosaunee in Albany, New York. He came away inspired by the successful model of independent states united under one rule of law. Soon after, he would propose a similar union of colonies. 22 years later, these United States would declare their independence from England. In that year, 1776, events swirled toward the American Revolution. 10,000 strong and strategically located between the colonies and the British in Canada, the Haudenosaunee were seen as a key to victory. British and American diplomats met repeatedly with representatives of the Grand Council, trying to pull the Indian nations to their side. But the Grand Council, guided by the principles of peace laid down by the Great Law, declared their neutrality. Although they would not ally with either power, in a diplomatic gesture, a delegation from the Grand Council traveled to Philadelphia. There, the Haudenosaunee, the oldest democracy in North America, officially recognized the fledgling American government.
All right.
Although they would not ally with either power, in a diplomatic gesture,
In a diplomatic, in a diplomatic gesture,
delegation from the Grand Council traveled to Philadelphia.
the Haudenosaunee came to Philadelphia.
There, the Haudenosaunee, the oldest democracy in North America, officially recognized the fledgling American government.
Officially recognized the fledgling American government. So if the fledgling American government, now they weren't set up yet. They weren't set up yet. So the Haudenosaunee came here to meet with us and the United States of America, where the Haudenosaunee then recognized the United States of America, the fledgling American government. So I'm gonna play it one more time.
Although they would not ally with either power, in a diplomatic gesture, a delegation from the Grand Council traveled to Philadelphia. There, the Haudenosaunee, the oldest democracy in North America, officially recognized the fledgling American government.
Now, if the United States of America was already set up, already a government, why did they have to officially why did they call them the fledgling? Yeah, they started, they knew, yeah, no. It had nothing to do with that. They came to Philadelphia to meet with us. The Haudenosaunee, the the Indians, this particular group of Indians, the Haudenosaunee, came to Philly, and the United States of America came, and they met with us, just like it says in this document. Because in this document, it tells you that the United States of America and Morocco would sign the treaty, and when they signed it, they gave it to us for our final ratification. So in essence, we were in charge then, and we've always been in charge and running this. And it's always been the United States. It's not been the United States of America, or rather, all these Moorish governments that all these Moors are making up. The flag of the United States, our flag, the Moors. So in essence, let me say this. We are the American Indian Moors. We have the flag of the United States, and our flag has 6-point stars. And we are our Congress is the United States in Congress assembled. The United States of America has a 48-star, 5-point star flag. Their Congress is called the United States of America in Congress assembled. So this is something to digest, something to deal with. Now, for those who say, oh, that's not right, I've been dealing with the government officials for the past 22 years, dealing with them, government, and they know all of this. And they verified all of this. And they told me, Schema, you're right and you're correct. But your problem is your own people, they're not going to believe you. I can show you this. This is my ID. Let me move this. United States government, the family of nations, nationality, United States, travel number, permanent, issued white race, American Indian Moor. And if you look, our flag, this flag, the 40, I don't know if maybe you can't see the one that's upside down. That's the 48 star flag, but it's upside down. And the 48 star flag with the 5-point star is here. It's here. And our flag is over here, upside down. And then on the back, I have 48 star flag, 6-point stars. Probably too tight. And the seal, that's a different seal. We'll get into that later on. So that's the Moorish government, the United States, not the United States of America, not Marrakesh Society, not all these things, the Moorish Science Temple, the Moorish Temple of Science. And if you remember, why isn't it the Moorish Science Temple? Noble Jelly said, your IDs are going to change in your pocket. So, I'm going to stop here, and we'll pick this up at another time on the next video.